the other kinds of abuse. Now, women are interesting in that women see everything from a very solipsistic, selfish, self-centered, almost narcissistic position. That is a standard female way of viewing the world. To a woman, the female way is the only way, is the correct way, is the only valid way. They're not like men in that, although women can be taught differently, women can change, women can be better. There are better and worse women out there for sure when it comes to this issue. The average woman is virtually incapable of seeing the world outside of a feminine perspective. She will have a range of feminine perspectives, from more traditional, feminine, conservative, to ultra left-wing liberal, third-wave, nutty feminist, to anything in between. And what you have to understand is the difference between men and women is that men inherently understand they have a male perspective of the world. They may not understand everything that goes on with women, but they understand that women are different and that men are different, and they try to see things from the woman's perspective. They try to contemplate how she feels, look at her emotions, generally. Now, the less intelligent a man is, the less capable he is of this, but the intelligence of a woman often does not negate the fact that she's solipsistic. So what ends up happening is that women see things so blatantly, so clouded from their own feminine imperative perspective, that to them, beating you, physically beating you, doesn't really count as abuse. And a perfect place where you see that is in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp debacle that is kind of still active right now. This is being recorded on February 22nd, 2020. So I'm dating this video for those of you viewing from the future. February 22nd, 2020. In the last couple weeks, we've seen a lot of stuff come out about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Two actors, an actress and an actor, who were married and went through a bitter divorce. And for the longest time, Johnny Depp suffered punishment, ridicule, accusation, calls for him to be canceled because of the allegations of abuse from Amber Heard. Now that a whole bunch more recordings have come out, we have seen that at worst, Johnny Depp was mad when Amber Heard abandoned him at a time when his mother died. He was angry, he slammed a few cupboards, poured himself a drink of wine. I didn't even see him drink it. He yelled a little and that was it. That's all we saw from him. But what we heard from Amber Heard, and what we saw in photos and allegations, which are confirmed by what she said, is that she physically beat him, cut off the tip of his finger, threw things at him, hard things that can cause significant damage. He put up with the abuse and virtually never laid a finger on her the whole time. And yet, in her mind, him complaining about being physically abused was him being a baby and a wuss, because she didn't really hit him. I mean, she didn't really punch him, she just hit him. You have to understand, Amber Heard is splitting hairs over whether hitting him several times with a closed fist counted as punching. She literally is arguing, I didn't punch you, I just hit you. I didn't punch you. Come on, don't be a baby. And then you got to call your friends because you're a little baby. That's not exactly what she said, but it's a close approximation. She's mocking him for not just putting up with the abuse and taking it. She's mocking him because he's calling her out for the abuse. Whoa, shoot. She's mocking him for not being a real man and just putting up with physical assault from her. Because in her mind, what she's doing is okay. She's sitting there in the most asinine, completely ridiculous, laughably stupid way, justifying physical abuse. Her own. Her abusing Johnny Depp. Now, this is a prime example from the perspective of a famous couple. Johnny Depp's secret recordings of her are pretty telling. But you'll notice that the reaction from the media and feminists as a whole has been almost near dead silence. It has been to pretty much ignore it, to say, okay, yeah, well, you know, she might have been responsible for some abuse, but Johnny Depp was bad too, you know, so it's like, okay, you know, just, it's like not that bad. I remember the last time there was a woman, a famous woman, who was caught and arrested for physically abusing a man, and I cannot remember who it was. Maybe you guys will know and tell me in the comments. And when the cackling hens of The View show talked about it, I think it was on The View. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they literally said, well, you know, she's just a very passionate woman. They're literally justifying physical domestic violence from a woman as, quote, passion. You have to understand, men, you will never be able to get away with justifying the physical abuse of your girl as you being passionate. That's not a thing. You couldn't do it. Try it. Watch what happens. The absolute disgust and shock from women that you would even attempt to try such a justification. And yet here we are. National television, one of the most popular shows for women. But yeah, it's okay that she did it because she's just really passionate and emotional. So it's okay for a woman to beat a man physically if she's passionate and emotional. Well, I can be passionate, but I don't beat women. Never have, never will. Will I defend myself from a woman who's physically attacking me? If necessary, yes. Now, my suggestion, guys, you shouldn't just take the abuse. But if a woman is just kind of pushing you and doing minor things that aren't causing any actual real injury, don't haul off and sock her in the face. Trust me, it won't work out for you. You could have a video of a woman pushing you around, hitting you in the back, slapping you, and you punch her one time and boom, you get arrested. They'll claim that it was, you know, an imbalance of force, that your hit was just so much more significant than any of hers, and so you count as being the aggressor. Don't do it. Your best case scenario, get away. Get away, cancel the relationship, done. The first time she is physically abusive, and you guys, I'm not talking about that very playful way that a girl likes to sort of gently, I don't even like to use the word punch, but like she gently kind of taps you in the shoulder with her fist, or, you know, she kind of gives you that little push when you make an intentionally sexist joke to get a rise out of her. I'm not talking about that. We're not talking about those gentle sort of love taps that people give you. When I say that, understand, I'm not talking about her getting legitimately mad and socking you in the shoulder. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that playful thing that some women do. I'm not talking about playful, gentle taps that don't hurt at all. But be careful with that. You don't want to do the playful, gentle taps to her and have her turn them into violence. You have to be able to figure out what kind of relationship you have. I know of some couples, they say that they kind of wrestle around a little bit, but be aware that that kind of wrestling, even if you think you're just having fun and playing around, she can turn that into abuse anytime she wants to, right? Women get to decide retroactively whether you abuse them or not. A woman can sleep with you, do all sorts of things with you, wake up in the morning and go, you know what? I don't like that I did that. I'm going to say he raped me, and everyone in the world is going to believe her, including the police. They're going to show up at your door with a warrant. They might not even have a warrant. They just might arrest you on the spot for a felony charge. Oh, today's drink of choice is black coffee hot. As always. Seriously, you will get arrested based on nothing more than her accusation. That will be the only grounds. They don't need the condom. They don't need semen inside her. They don't need video. They don't need your confession. All they need is her saying, he did this, and you're arrested. That is it. Plain and simple. This is why I give zero fucks for when they're in the news and say, so-and-so has been arrested for. That doesn't mean shit, guys. Trust me. If you ever work in law enforcement, you'll realize anybody can be arrested for anything, for almost any reason. It doesn't require much of anything at all. It is so easy to get a warrant on somebody. It is laughable. You will question just how much freedom people have in this country when you see how easy it is to arrest a person and throw them in jail. And you know what? You know what people say? Yeah, but you know that he's not convicted of it. He has the right to a trial, speedy trial and trial by jury and a lawyer. Yeah, well, that doesn't do a lot for you when you sit your ass in jail for a couple days, or when you're in jail without a bond because of the seriousness of the accusation. 100% innocent men are victims of women who create scenarios where these men spend up to weeks or even months sitting in jail waiting for a trial appearance, their pre-trial, whatever it's called in the state in question. They can spend days, weeks, months in jail over nothing more than a she said. She said, okay, To jail you go. Wait, doesn't there need to be some evidence? Doesn't there need to be like video or corroborating physical evidence? Nope. Nope. Sorry, you have this incorrect notion about freedom and evidence, and no, there doesn't. And I have a very huge problem with the way law enforcement works in the United States. My take is this, and I have spoken to prosecutors. I've had heated debates with prosecutors on this topic. And I've said, look, we should not be arresting people, issuing warrants for people, where when they show up to their first court appearance, everything gets dismissed for lack of evidence. There's nothing we can do. We can't move forward. If we cannot move forward as a culture to prosecute someone because there's nothing to go off, why are we arresting them for it? That is why the criminal justice system gets clogged up. There's a whole bunch of bogus bullshit domestic arrests where the first time the guy shows up to court, whatever it's called, pretrial or a preliminary, the first time he shows up, everything gets dismissed and he's released. Charges dropped. Because there's nothing to it. It's nothing more than a she said. Nothing. But the guy gets arrested for it. And a lot of people don't care. I want you to imagine, for those of you that have never been arrested before, imagine you're with a girl, she gets mad at you. Whoops, that was a total fail. Let's just go around for the backstab. She, you're with a girl, she's your girlfriend, everything's going fine, and one day you just have a little argument with her. It kind of gets a little heated. You go to your room, or whatever, different part of the apartment, house, wherever you guys stay. You're doing your thing, and all of a sudden, police show up. They handcuff you. And they tell you, she says you hit her. You're like, I didn't hit her. Well, she said you hit her. You're going to jail. But I didn't hit her. Well, she said, you will argue all day long. It won't matter. They do not give a shit what you say. All that matters is she said it. So let me tell you, where's the primacy in that? Whose statement is primary? Where's the imperative? That's the feminine imperative, guys. I don't make this stuff up. I didn't invent this either. The feminine imperative. It's her word against yours, and they go with hers. Plain and simple. Now, some departments are better than others. Some states are better than others. But all in all, as a general rule, if it's a she said, he said, it's going to go with what she said. If you got injuries on you, but she says you threatened her with a gun, so that's why she scratched your face, yep, there's a good chance you're going to jail. She beat the shit out of you, scratched you up, you're bleeding everywhere, she's got no injuries on her, you go to jail. I've seen it. I have personally seen it. I've seen a man whose face was all cut up, whose throat was cut with a knife. I'm not kidding. He was all bandaged up. He showed me his cut throat. But she said that he threatened to kill her, so she was defending herself. He went to jail. She had 0 injuries on her. I actually, open records are a great thing. You can pull public records, by the way, guys. Every arrest is a public record. So, public record, I got the arrest. Guess what? Yeah, sure enough, it literally said in there, she had no visible injuries. Nothing more than her saying, okay. Oh! He thought he had me there. I know that was lame. That was some R1 spam on a shield, but whatever, it worked. So let me tell you something. Abusive women have all the advantages in the world. Now, do women get arrested? Yeah, sure, they do. Are they the majority of the West? No. No. Last I checked, they're like 15, maximum 20%, but I think those are high numbers. I don't even think those numbers are accurate. If I were you, if it's a he said, she said, even if you have injuries and she doesn't, I would say there's at least a 50% chance you'll still get arrested. If she has an injury, whether she put it on herself or not, there's nearly 100% chance you'll get arrested. If it's just you two claiming the other did this and that, there's at least an 80-90% chance you'll get arrested. So, abusive women, physically abusive. They can be emotionally and mentally abusive. Those are kind of similar. I don't know really how you define those, but I think emotional abuse is when they try to make you feel bad, they guilt you, they shame you. We're going to do another run. We're getting souls here, guys, and other upgrade materials for future playthroughs. The mental abuse, I think, overlaps with it, but that's kind of the narcissistic style abuse. Guys, if you met a girl and you've been with her for a while and you notice that you have anxiety issues that you never had before, There's evidence coming out now. There are psychological studies, clinical studies, showing that men who are with narcissistic women often develop anxiety problems. So these anxiety problems can manifest in horrible ways. Like some of these guys even get to the point of being suicidal. Now, you know, I cannot sympathize with, or I can't empathize with suicidal thoughts. I can sympathize with it to try to understand it from an outsider's perspective. But, you know, for those of you out there that are feeling like you want to kill yourself, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you I know what you're going through. I can imagine, I think, what you're going through. And I can just say this, don't. Do not even consider killing yourself over a woman. There is no woman in the world that is worth that. You could have a 10 out of 10 Instagram model. She is not worth killing yourself over. Not even close. She is not worth cutting your wrist over. She is not worth giving up your job. She is not worth much of anything, big picture, guys. Whatever you sacrifice for a woman, she won't appreciate. If you sacrifice yourself for a woman, all you're doing is showing her that you have lower value. You're making it worse. Golly. Nice try, buddy. Let's put something between us here. Uh-oh. Here he comes. Nice try. All right. The more you sacrifice, the more you give up, the more ground you give, the less she respects you. You just make it worse. And if you go off saying, well, if you leave me, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to kill myself if you leave me. No. They don't care. They really don't, guys. She might shed a few tears because the relationship that she had is gone. She doesn't care about you. She honestly will forget most of everything you guys went through and move on to another man like that. Meanwhile, you're dead and buried. And your family, kids if you have them, your loved ones, friends are all suffering. Don't do it. If you need to get help, let me give you a recommendation, guys. Don't call the police. Don't. The police are going to make you feel like a criminal, handcuff you, and take you against your will somewhere. Go talk to a psychiatrist or psychologist, and you do not need to tell them that you're suicidal. Just talk to them in such a way where you can resolve that issue. Because if you tell people you're suicidal, there are tons of different positions like officers, nurses, doctors, psychologists. If you tell them, hey, yeah, I feel like, you know, if you tell them that you're suicidal, they are obligated by law to report you to the police, and the police will show up and handcuff you and take you somewhere against your will, and it will count as an arrest, and you'll have a record. It doesn't look good. And depending on what they decide, you could lose some rights, like the right to own a gun ever again in the future. It can make it harder for you to get a gun permit. It can be used against you in court during a divorce or custody battle. You don't want that. And if you ever believe that you've been wrongfully arrested, go consult with a lawyer. Whether it's a domestic arrest, whether they committed you to a mental institution, if you think it's wrong, go talk to a lawyer. If they want a consultation fee, pay it. It's worth it. The only way to get law enforcement to act right is to hold them responsible. And this is coming from someone, I'm not going to say exactly what I do for a living, but read between the lines, guys. This is coming from someone who knows what he's talking about in more ways than one, okay? Law enforcement will only act responsibly as a whole when they're held responsible. There is this misguided notion among many officers and departments that they arrest whoever they want to arrest, and it's based on whatever they do, and they decide, and you know, they tend to think that they know it all, and some of you guys have encountered these officers. I hate that police like that are out there, but they are. And there are departments where the chiefs think like that. They think that they just decide whoever gets arrested gets arrested. The ultimate sign of a professional veteran cop is that he takes pleasure in being able not to arrest. A veteran, professional, responsible police officer feels like his best day is a day where he doesn't have to arrest somebody. Now, there's a difference between, hey, we got a pedophile, we got a genuine rapist over here, we got a murderer, this guy killed somebody, you know, shot him in cold blood. There's a difference between that and, well, I had to arrest this guy and take him to jail because his girlfriend said that he slapped her. Those are the bullshit arrests that no officer wants to make and should never feel proud of those. He should never be padding his stats with such nonsense, low-value arrests. I think there needs to be a lot of changes to the system. But until then, she's going to slap you, punch you, kick you, spit on you, scratch you with her nails, hit you with her shoes, including stilettos. I have seen stiletto heels put through a man's hand. Blood all over the walls, all over the couch. I'm not kidding. This looks like a Hollywood crime scene. Blood all over the place, like they just took a bottle of blood and shook it all over. I mean, on the ceiling. This is... He had a puncture wound through his hand, the entire thing. You could stick something through the palm of his hand and it would come out the other side. That's how big the hole was. And you know what happened in the end? Guess who went to jail? Yep. The dude with the giant hole in his hand. And she straight up admitted it. But the investigators on the scene, what did they decide? We're going to take the man. She didn't have any significant injury. She had a couple bruises. All she had to do was say, he did it first. He did it first. And guess what? It was his place. She came over there unannounced, uninvited. She kicked her way in the house. There were kick marks on the door that clearly appeared to be from her heels. Do you think any of that mattered? Do you think they gave a shit about any of that? Nope. More than happy to arrest him. I'm telling you guys, you think you're going to have a rock-solid case when you call the police? You're like, you got all these injuries, she's got none. She hit you, you didn't touch her, so you call the police thinking she's going to jail. Watch how quickly it gets fucking turned around on you, man. You will be sitting there, your jaw dropping to the floor. Your only thought process being a complete, being a repeated, constant, over and over, what the fuck, man? What the fuck happened, man? Yeah, that's what you'll be saying to yourself over and over again as you're sitting in the back seat of a squad car, handcuffed behind your back, injuries all over you, bleeding, her being perfectly fine, and you're in the back seat. I'm saying don't roll the dice. The first time she gets physical, end it. The first time. There's no, okay, she can go get help, she promises never to do it again. The first time is the last time. Alright? Pretend you have... If you don't have a sister or daughter, pretend that you do, okay? Pretend you have a sister or pretend you have a daughter, whatever your age range is. So if you're old enough to have a daughter, pretend you have a daughter. Alright? I want you to pretend that your daughter comes home or your sister comes home and says, you know, I haven't told anybody. I went on a date with a guy and I didn't really like him. And I told him I wanted to leave. Because we were at his place watching Netflix, and I said I'm going to leave, and he grabbed me, and he forced me on the sofa, and he raped me. And she says, but, you know, I'm thinking, like, he said he didn't mean to do it, and he said he's sorry, and I'm wondering, like, should I give him another chance? What would you tell her? Okay? Seriously. Should I give him another chance? He said he didn't mean to do it, and he's really sorry, and he won't do it again. What would you tell your daughter? Or your sister? Of course you wouldn't tell him, yeah, go ahead and forgive him. Try again. Give him another chance. No. Hell no. That's a one and done. If a guy does that to a woman, it needs to be over immediately. He needs to go to jail, prison. Sometimes it's hard to prove that stuff because what happens behind closed doors between two individuals, it's very difficult to prove one way or the other. But no. You don't give him another chance. You don't let it go. You don't let him say, well, he's sorry. You know what I mean? So, now, the advice you just gave to that girl, give yourself the same advice when you're asking, should I forgive this girl for beating me? Should I forgive this girl for slapping and kicking me? Should I forgive her for throwing that can of soup at me or that can of corn at me? And the answer is hell no. No. Don't even think about forgiving her. End it. Now, if you're in a marriage, I would hope before the marriage you would have figured it out. But let's say you've been married for 5 years. She's been abusive the whole time. You just don't want to end it. You got a kid, you got a house, you got retirement and career, and you're looking at all this shit, and you're going to have to go through family court. Here's what you do. You look up the laws, talk to a lawyer about what the laws are. Tell him you want to give it a few more weeks with her before you really file for the divorce. Get the divorce stuff ready. Talk to him about what all you need to do and tell him, look, I need to get evidence against her. I want to set up secret cameras in the house that record video and audio. What are the laws regarding that? Can I do this? Am I going to get in trouble for it? What's the best way to do it? Get a lawyer's opinion on it. Don't let her know you're doing this. Don't pay the lawyer off a credit card. Don't pay the lawyer with a debit card. Don't pay him with checks. Pay the lawyer in cash. Get proof that you paid the lawyer, because some lawyers are shady. So you need to get written proof if you're paying in cash. The reason you don't pay with a credit card or check or anything, you don't want any evidence that she can find. Because the moment she realizes you're going to a lawyer, all hell's going to break loose. Okay? That's typically what happens. All hell breaks loose. She goes full on, full throttle, try to get you arrested, go for protection order, steal the kids, hide them somewhere. You never see them. You don't see them for months or years. She kills the kids and herself in a murder-suicide. Don't play around with that stuff. Seriously, okay? Plan your escape silently, talk to a lawyer, and get evidence. Record. Record audio. Record video when you can. Set up secret video in certain places. Do not antagonize her. Now, this is a very important lesson. The number one thing I got to say about the recording and getting evidence against her, if you start shit yourself, it will come back to hurt you. It will be obvious when you're purposely starting shit, and it won't look good. Because she will argue that you did it on purpose to try to trick her, that you were trying to get her worked up, that that's how you abuse her. You want to make sure that it's her abusing you on her own, that you did not start it, but you were there and you had to take it. You want to be very careful about the whole way you approach it, but make sure these are arguments that just start the way they normally start. Don't purposely try to start them. Let them go the way they normally go. Say the things you normally say, but don't say anything threatening or violent or illegal, obviously. Hopefully you weren't ever doing that anyway. And then collect that evidence. Collect several. You want at least a handful, not just one and not just two, because you don't want to record one incident and have, her lawyer come up with some clever excuse for why it happened, Once you get several pieces of evidence, ideally you want photos, ideally you want actual video of her striking you. Okay, let's see. We got 12 left, so we should be, you know what I need to do? I need to be able to upgrade a shield all the way. That will be super useful, especially in New Game Plus 2, I think it's called. New Game Plus 1, whatever we call it. I definitely do not want to be using a base shield. Upgrading that shield will increase the stability by so much. So let's do another run to get souls for these upgrades. I was going to do this off camera, but realized, hey, we're just talking. I hope you guys enjoy the conversation enough. Be aware that some women may know that physical injuries are dangerous to put on you because you can use them as a potential evidence against her. So she may try to kick you and your genitals. Harder to prove. She may try to just punch you in your belly area. She may try to just hit you in the back of the head. She may use tactics that she knows leave far less evidence behind. Harder to prove, harder to show. You can't see in photos. It's, the evidence that can be photographed, that can be shown directly, that's a lot more powerful. But the notion of, well, she kicked me in my genital area. Okay, well, that may hurt really bad and have lasting negative consequences. But even to a doctor, it's going to be hard to prove, What are they going to do? Open up your scrotum and look at the testicles and the bruising or something? So be aware of women doing that. She will play the victim, of course. It's very typical. They almost always play victim. That is female solipsism. The reason men typically don't play victim is because they're not solipsistic by nature. Men naturally see things through a more reasonable, logical lens, and so when they know that something didn't happen, they typically don't pretend like it happened and cry that it happened and act like it happened. Women, however, can sort of put themselves in this position where they see the world through the lens of their own lie. That's part of solipsism. They see the world through the lens of their own lies and can put themselves in it to such a degree that they can cry like an actor or actress would. They can generate tears on demand. These women are common, guys. Very common. And when that happens, like I said, typically they're going to go with her. She may self-inflict injuries. This is common. They typically will do it to the arms and face. Those are the most common places where a woman will self-injure. She'll get something kind of sharp, and she'll scratch herself on the face. She'll scratch herself on the arms, and she'll say that you grabbed her, or that while you were hitting her, your nails scratched her. And believe me, nobody is going to assume she hurt herself. They just won't. You will pretty much need video evidence of her doing it. And that may not save you from the initial arrest. That may only save you if it goes to trial. That may only save you when it causes the prosecutor to say, yeah, I can't prosecute this. We got video of her doing it to herself. But it won't save you from that night in jail, most likely. Oh, he's going to go right off the edge, but oh well. That's why I don't like fighting that guy, because there's always that risk that he'll go off the edge and then you won't get the chunk. Which is useful for most playthroughs. You want those chunks. The other thing, too, family, friends. This is a hard one, and you may lose family and friends during this time period. They may often side with her, because society as a whole is taught one thing, and I've said it 100 times in different playthroughs. Society, the public, police, your family and friends, they all operate under the assumption that men are perpetrators and women are victims. This is the assumption that we all operate under. You probably operate under this assumption. When you hear the term domestic violence, what image pops up in your head? Yeah, it's a man hitting a woman, isn't it? That's the image that pops up in your head. That's the image that's pushed by society. Nearly every single domestic violence advertisement, poster, billboard, commercial, ad on the radio, it's always about a woman being abused and a man doing the abusing. Now, sometimes they do it as a man abusing his children. Australia had a domestic abuse hotline, and the website might still be up in this fashion. I posted a long time ago. It was like 2 years ago. It literally said that, you know, for victims of abuse, call this number. And then for men who want to stop being abusers, call this number. It literally portrayed it as when women call the number, it's as a victim. But when men call the number, it's as an abuser trying to get himself to stop. The only reason a man would call the domestic abuse hotline is because he's like, oh, I'm an abuser, help me stop. It's just so demeaning to men that they just automatically assume that no man would call as a victim. He would only call as the abuser. And the women, of course, if they're calling as the abused. So ultimately, like I said, there's only one solution. She's not going to stop. She's just not. Please don't believe she's going to stop. Guys, therapy, counseling, interventions, being arrested, 99 times out of 100 does no good whatsoever. Please do not think you're that little tiny fraction of a percent or 1% where she can fix the problem and get better. Please don't think that you're that, because you're really not. No one really is. But you're going to think it. I know you are. You're going to think that you're the exception to the rule. This is the thing, guys. We do this. And you know why we do this? Scarcity mindset. We are so afraid of getting back out there without a girl at our side, not having a girl, not knowing if we can get another one, not knowing if the next girl's going to be as good as the last. Will she be as pretty? You know, we are so afraid of that we're willing to put up with shit we shouldn't. We are so terrified that, oh, you know what? Let me do this bottomless box with the armor now. We are so terrified of the notion that, will I ever find another girl? Will she be as good? You know, this is the one. This is the special one. God destined this woman for me. You know, if I can't get with this girl, I will never find another girl. There'll never be another girl as good. I'll never be happy. I always wonder, you know, what would have been with that girl. No woman is special, guys. Ultimately, all women are special, and that means none of them are. When everyone is special, no one is, okay? And everyone is special. If you think there's something really super, super amazing, one of a kind about her, there isn't. I'm sorry. You can find other women. You can find women better. You can find women worse. You can find women that are about the same. The same is true of her, though. I'm not saying that this is a one-way street. She can find a better guy. She can find a worse guy. She can find a guy that's pretty similar to you. Let's see. I should only have 2 sets of these because they don't drop. I think you only find them in the end. So I think there's only one place to get the Black Knight set, and it's here in the kiln. Oh yeah, you can't put away the ones that you already have, obviously. I'm putting everything away except what I want to use. Xanthus Crown. Maybe we could do a Xanthus playthrough, but then again, those, we want the Sunlight Maggot, though. Those, whips, man, whips are almost useless in this game. Alright, let's get rid of items we just don't use and then duplicates. I just don't use the red tear stone ring or the blue tear stone ring. I don't need 3 of those. Bellowing Dragon Crest ring, Dusk ring, White Seance, Dark Moon, Ring of the Sun's Firstborn, Leo ring, Wolf ring, Hawk ring, Hawk ring. Oh, I didn't pick up the Wolf ring again, which I guess it doesn't matter at this point, you know? Oh, I already have a Ring of Favor and Protection. Awesome! That's going to be useful for the next playthrough, I do believe. What else should I get rid of here? Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's clean this up a bit. Playing offline, I don't need any online items, obviously. Or that. I just really don't use blood red moss clumps. I don't. I mean, you just kind of wait for bleed buildup to go down. I just don't find it sticks around long enough to need that. If I need a purging stone, I'll pull it out of storage. I don't use divine blessings. I typically just save them forever. I don't use throwing knives. I have arrows. Dung pies, just not going to use at this point. We'll keep one of those on us, although it really doesn't matter. I guess if we keep them all, if it's going to take up a slot, it takes up a slot, you know? Lloyd's Talismans, don't need them, although, you know, maybe I'll use them on some chests, just for the hell of it. Hello, don't need it. Thank you, carving, don't need it, don't need it, don't need it, don't need it. Binoculars, don't need it. I don't know why the binoculars are between 2 souls, that's weird, but whatever. Maybe I moved it like that. Silver pendant. No. I can get it later if I really need it. Dried finger, don't need it. Okay, there we go. That's just nice. I like cleaning this up. Now, let's reinforce some armor, shall we, guys? Black Knight set, I think we get the most benefit from 4 points of defense off that. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 2. So yeah, the main chest piece is where we get the main benefit. The most benefit, I should say. Alright, let's... Just to change things up a bit, let's go tackle some more of them there shells. The man-eating shells, or clams, or whatever. Another thing to know about physically abusive women is they may use weapons. They may use their shoe, pots, pans, forks, knives, guns. I've seen a lot of women threaten to kill men, pull out guns and point them at them. The thing to understand is that if your girl doesn't know much about guns, she's probably going to have her finger on the trigger. And what that means is that a slight little tick in her finger, depending on the strength of the trigger pull, could cause her to fire it off. And she will probably panic and freak out and be really, really sorry that it actually fired, but it doesn't matter at that point. It fired. Once the bullet goes out, there's no taking it back. It doesn't matter how sorry she is. All that matters is that now you're shot, you know? If a gun ever goes off in your girl's hands, it doesn't matter if it hits you or not. I didn't have any stamina there to dodge it. If she accidentally sets it off or intentionally sets it off and it hits you or doesn't hit you, sorry, if it doesn't hit you, it could have. She has fired a gun, dude. Seriously, it's over. Leave. Any abuse, in my opinion, should be an immediate, unquestionable, no thought required, get out. And the only reason you would wait to get out is if you're locked in. And I'm talking about marriage, kids, living together, on the lease together, that kind of situation. So, like I said, get a lawyer. And a lot of guys, they tell me the same thing, and I tell them, please stop saying this, guys. Stop saying you can't afford a lawyer. You can't afford not to get a lawyer. Guys who don't get a lawyer and go through divorce get screwed. You will spend thousands and thousands more paying her and suffering and not seeing your kids and possibly going to jail than if you just got a lawyer, planned your escape, paid him a couple thousand, and get away with the best deal you can. You think you're going to represent yourself. You think you're pretty smart. You think you're going to look everything up and learn about it. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If you don't have a bar number designation, you're not licensed to be an attorney, judges don't want to talk to you. I have literally heard of numerous cases in which the judge literally says, I'm not interested in hearing what you have to say. Ignores the dude who's representing himself. Just doesn't even talk to him. And he can do that. She can do that. She can just ignore you. I've seen it happen more than once. I've heard of it happening all the time. And I assume these guys are telling me the truth. You know, I'm not always there to hear it myself. But these match stories I've heard from other men. They will literally say, I'm not talking to you. The judge will listen to her attorney, and every time it's supposedly supposed to be your turn, or you try to say, we're not talking to you, and she'll make decisions based on only what the other attorney says, and just virtually ignore you. Or you'll give your spiel, the judge will cut you off, or the judge will tell you that, you know, you failed in some minor little, you know, procedural issue, so everything you said doesn't count, she discounts all your evidence, everything gets thrown out, you completely lose, and you have no position now because you didn't follow some little technicality procedure of law. Don't represent yourself. Only case where you should represent yourself, possibly, is if you are a bar licensed attorney in that state. You are an actual lawyer. In which case, if you are a lawyer, you probably know it's best to get a lawyer because you're too emotional to represent yourself. You're not going to make the best decisions. It's too emotional a thing. It's too involved. You just need someone else looking at it from an outsider's perspective. All right, there we go. Not as good a deal here. I think I probably just get more killing all the Black Knights getting 4,000 souls apiece. I think, shoot, what, I only get one twinkling from this whole time? Let's see. Yeah, one twinkling from all that. That sucks. Hopefully we'll get more. I have the covetous serpent ring on. And you know what? That's probably why... Oh, that's probably why I'm getting more weapon drops from the Black Knights. I was wondering why I'm suddenly getting weapons all the time from the Black Knights. The covetous gold serpent ring. Gotta go get that silver one, but I probably won't because it's annoying to go get. Come on, come on, come on. Come on down. The price is right. Remember that, guys? Is that show still even on? I'm sure it is with probably its third or fourth host. I remember when it was who? Bob Barker? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that guy has a line of prison clothing. I'm not kidding. I think he has a line of prison clothing. That's something, isn't it? That's what I've been told. I haven't looked it up. Come here, buddy. Look at him coming, running to his own doom. By the way, these clams don't really have legs in real life, in case you were wondering. But dang, they sure do take a lot of hits. I think I'll find the Black Knight playthrough pretty simple because the weapons just do so much more damage. Weapons do a ton of damage. Oh, look. Save me an arrow. Come on down, bud. So, it's really simple with the abuser. This last episode, or assuming this is the last episode, we'll see, is just as simple as leave. Get out. And like I said, the deeper in you are, the more you need the assistance of a lawyer. I used to say ask other guys, but most guys have no effing clue what to do. They will give you stupid advice. Well, you know, you should try to work it out. Talk to her, you know. You guys should go to counseling. Don't. This is one of the most fundamental, not miscommunications, but this is one of the most fundamental, erroneous pieces of advice you'll hear nowadays. Oh, you just need communication. It's all about communication. Good communication is what a relationship is all about. Open communication. No. That is a female way of viewing the world, and it is an incorrect way of viewing relationships. It is the misguided notion that just talking more is going to resolve the issue. I have spoken to lawyers on this. One lawyer told me, literally said, I told him that marriage counseling never works. It's the last stop before divorce. And he said, you know what? It works great. I was like, what? He's like, no, it works great for me. He says, because I send couples, I all the time, I tell couples to go to marriage counseling. They go to marriage counseling, they talk, they realize they fucking hate each other and they want to get divorced, so they pay me more. That's literally what he said. It's a waste of money, guys. It's a waste of money. And you know what's sad? Some states require it. Do the bare minimum required by the state and then be done with it. Don't put your emotional energy into it. Make it seem like you're trying because you don't want the counselor to say that you didn't try. You went in there and said, this ain't gonna work. Fuck this. No, don't do that. Make it seem like you're trying. Make it seem like you're trying. Make it appear like you're giving it a genuine effort. Act in what's legally called good faith. You always want to act in what's called good faith. Don't come in there going, this is bullshit. I'm just here to pass time. It's not going to work. Let's just get this over with. Don't do that. That'll come back to haunt you because lawyers and judges will see that as you not having good faith. So give the appearance of a good faith effort. Be nice. Be civil. Let it fail. And when I say let it fail, I'm saying let it fail. Do not start getting confused into thinking, well, you know, this might actually work. I think we're getting... No, you're not. Stop it. Stop it. Please stop thinking that, guys. No. It's just, even if you think you're getting this together and it's working, it will fall apart. It'll fall apart in a week. It'll fall apart in a month. It'll fall apart in a year, 2 years, another decade. How much more time will you waste on a broken relationship and an abusive woman? How much more time will you waste? Don't get involved in the sunken time fallacy or sunk time fallacy. And this is the fallacy of, well, I don't want to get divorced because we've been together for 12 years, you know, and it's just so much time invested. Look at it like a money investment. Say you invest in a company. The company loses you money every single year. It's been 10 years of you losing money. You've consistently lost on the investment. Do you say, well, you know, I've been investing for 10 years and losing money for 10 years, so I should just keep losing money? No, of course not. You get your money out of there. Once you realize it's nothing but a loss and a continual loss indefinitely, get your money out. Get your emotions out. Get your life out of her. She's nothing but a lost investment. You invested time and energy and money. You lost it. It sucks, but that's sometimes how it goes, guys. You lost, okay? You put your money in a company that went under. Just take out what's left and move on. Find a different investment, you know what I mean? Or invest in yourself now. Focus on investing in you first. If you're coming out of a bad relationship, you should take time for yourself. Aubrey Huff, former baseball player for, I think, the Giants. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not a sports fan. He took 6 months after his divorce. 6 months. Working out, focusing on himself, reading, eating right, spending time with his kids. He just took 6 months to focus on himself. He didn't even attempt to meet a woman. Now, you don't have to go 6 months dry, celibate, but make no intentional efforts to find a woman for at least a month or two of just getting yourself together. Exercising, eating right, learning to cook if you don't already, learning how to do the lifts properly, squats, deadlifts, bench press, power cleans, barbell rows, you know, all that stuff. Get yourself together as best you can. Learn some fashion as well. And guys, my next playthrough is going to be all about the basics of getting your life together. And my next playthrough will be useful whether you're a divorced 55-year-old man, whether you're a 15-year-old boy becoming a man, whether you're 20, whether you're 25 and just graduating college, whether you're a 21-year-old certified plumber. It does not matter. If you are a man or a boy who wants to be a man, or if you're a man who wants to be a better man, it will be a useful playthrough for you. Not because I'm some super pro expert. I'm not like these dudes out there that go, I'm filthy rich. I make billions of dollars every day, and now I'm going to sell you my How to Get Rich Quick ebook for $80. Don't fall for that shit, guys. You know who I'm talking about. If you've been on Twitter much, you see them. I call them the Twitter millionaires. He's like, I'm 25 years old. I own 6 multi-million-dollar companies, and I got hot babes surrounding me all the time. I got a harem of 7 women I screw every night, and here's me in my, Porsche Lamborghini, and I got 16 different hot cars, and here I am smoking a cigar, sipping some whiskey, talking on the cell phone, sitting in my Lamborghini with the door up, because, it's one of those cars where the door goes vertically. Don't believe that stupid shit. Really? If this guy is so effing wealthy and surrounded with beautiful women and just living it up, traveling the world, why is he hustling every day on Twitter to sell you his course on how to get rich, his course on how to get buff? If he's got millions of dollars, what is your $40? What is your $80? What is your $200? Some of them are selling courses for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. He'll make you a rich entrepreneur. If you're a multi-millionaire, what is $2,000 to you? Nothing. Seriously, think about it. If you're a multi-millionaire, you have million-dollar companies in your name, you are not going to waste time selling an $1,000 or even $2,000 get-rich-quick scheme on Twitter. You're not. You're just not. It's not worth your time and money. If you make $60,000 a year, would you take a second job working 4 hours a day or working 2 hours a day to make $5 an hour? Would you do that? If you make $20 an hour, would you take a second job working for $5 an hour? No. Of course you wouldn't. It'd be a waste of your time. Now, to put it in perspective, for millionaires, what they're doing on Twitter, selling you get-rich-quick schemes and all this other bullshit, is they are essentially earning $150 an hour, and they're doing a part-time job working for 50 cents an hour. That's how ridiculous that whole thing is. That's how stupid it is. Of course they're not really rich and filthy rich like they claim to be. I mean, maybe they got some money, but now they need to get some more. How are they getting money? From suckers like you that pay them to try to get rich. And guys, if you knew the secret to getting rich, would you sell it for $85? Hell no, you wouldn't. You'd keep that shit to yourself and keep getting richer. And if you're as rich as you need to be and don't want any more money, you just get with women and buy cars and live in a big house and just be happy. You wouldn't feel the need to get on Twitter every day and brag about how rich and happy you are. Look how rich I am. Look at how many babes I got. I'm like, damn, dude. I mean, you were spending hours every day trying to convince all of us how filthy rich and happy you are. Methinks he doth protest too much. If you don't know what that means, it basically means you're trying too hard. So, yeah, it's probably not true. Anybody can find someone with a fancy car to sit in or borrow the car, you know. Don't believe that stuff. I'm not saying they're all complete phonies. Some of them may have some level of truth to it. You may be able to get some value out of it. It may not be a total lie, but chances are whatever you're paying for, you can get for free. Whatever you're paying for, guys, you can get for free. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Twitter. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it in blogs and articles. You can get it for free. You don't need to pay $85 for someone's bodybuilding workout plan. I have never paid anyone for a workout plan, and I went from being a scrawny dude to then I was kind of chunky a little bit. Not fat, but I was out of shape. And then in the course of 2 years, I became the kind of guy where literally people comment on my physique. Like, I had a guy say that it looked like I could bench press him and his buddy. I had a woman, when I was at a pool, I had a woman right in front of my girlfriend, which she thought was rude, right in front of my girlfriend, asked me if I do personal training. Now, both me and my girlfriend both knew she wasn't interested in any personal training, okay? She was covertly hitting on me right in front of my girlfriend. I went from a guy that women didn't give a shit about and didn't pay attention to a guy that women comment on in public. I was one time looking at vitamins in the grocery store, and this woman, she walked up and was like, "You must work out." And damn, let me tell you something. I don't brag about it all the time on Twitter because it would look douchey, you know? That's such a douchebag move. But I can tell you right now. Oh, shit, no! Oh, I'm trying to finish this. I'm trying to... You know what? Who cares how long this takes? This episode's going past an hour. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Who knows what that's from? We can get those souls back. We can get everything back. Everything I've lost, I will regain and more. So, get away from abusive women. Don't do it, guys. This is me putting my notes away. This whole series is done as soon as we kill Gwen. Let's go get him. Let's go get him. You can't backstab Gwen, can you? No, I don't think you can backstab him. You can parry him, but I don't think you can backstab him. I can't believe I can't even think of whether or not you can backstab him. 15 Estus. Hang on now. Okay, there we go. Glad I noticed that. Let's, oh yeah, we can't do anything without any souls. Rightio. Oh, you know what? Let's, how many twinkling do I have 4? So let's use the rest of my twinkling before I do anything else here. Soul of a hero. There you go, hero. Reinforce armor. So we're gonna get a little more. Okay, so we maxed out the. Oh no, we haven't maxed it out. But let's 2, 2, 1. So let's do that. Oh, we can do it again for 3. I'll take defense on leggings for 3, Alex. You see how fast I can do that? I'm pretty quick. At least that's what the ladies say. I'm kidding, guys. Sorry. I alternate between trying to be semi-clean PG-13 and being just like NC-17, which I don't even know what that means. Hang on now. Hang on now. Did you see that health bar just pop up? Is that a... Anytime I see a little health bar pop up real quick in the distance, it's almost always an invasion. But I'm offline. I see messages offline. What is going on? If I die now, I've just lost almost 60,000 souls. Boom. Oh, there's also guys out there that'll say things like, make sure you're always improving yourself. Everything you do should be improving yourself. Don't waste your time playing video games and smoking weed and watching Netflix and you know, pleasuring yourself to porn. And, you know, I agree with a lot of that. A lot of that is wasted time. I think if you're smoking weed, stop. It's just a waste of time. Waste of money, waste of time. There's no value in that. Maybe CBD oil. Don't smoke weed. It's the same thing as smoking cigarettes. There's no value in it, guys. Don't do it. Stop if you're doing it. Binge watching Netflix every night? Don't. Watching a show every so often? That's fine. Because my girlfriend and I went through the Witcher series. It's something we did together. It was a communal activity. We talk about it. You know, she had her opinion on the relationships and which girl that she wanted to see Geralt be with. You know, she commented that she really liked kind of the dynamic between Geralt and Yennefer. But sitting there by yourself, just binge watching a show, eating, snacking on Doritos, you're wasting your time. Playing a video game all day long, playing World of Warcraft all day long, playing every single game that comes out, just sitting there playing it, eating Cheetos, yeah, that's a waste of time. Spending an hour a day on video games while you also are reading, you also go to the gym, you're working, you're building yourself up, that's fine. Don't let people make you feel guilty and bad. You know, these are the same guys that talk about male shaming that women do. And then they shame you for wanting to enjoy an inherently male activity. On the whole, not 100%, but on the whole, video games are generally a male thing. We're not talking about Candy Crush, Bejeweled, Farmville, or whatever it was called. Most video games are designed by men for men. Even if a woman designed it, it's still for men. Let's be honest, how many women are really playing Borderlands? How many women are really playing Dark Souls? And many of them that do play, they play because their boyfriends and husbands play and got them into it. They don't do it on their own. And many of them do it for an audience of mostly men on Twitch or YouTube. So it is what it is. I kind of hate that phrase, but now I'm using it. Okay. Didn't hit me, I didn't parry him, it was just kind of total utter failure, you know? Whoa. One of them roll backstabs. And here we go. Let's do this. 594. Let's see if we can get a, got it. Okay, cool. So we didn't waste even one single Estus on this trip. 88,000 souls. Let's, oh, you know what I should have gotten? I should have gotten some more green blossoms. I wasn't thinking. Exit Battle of Stoicism? Well, I can get rid of these two. Whoop. Okay. Who's ready? You guys ready? Let's do this. Next one. Next playthrough. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. It's going to be the basics of the red pill. I'm not good at dodging that, so... Oh, shit. Or parrying it, rather. I meant parrying it. Oh, shit. Now I'm dead. Oh, my goodness, it went over me. I got so lucky right there. Oh, I would have parried that, but I didn't even have a... I two-handed by mistake. I need to not two-hand it all right now. Ah, he got me. Once you start falling behind, it's really hard to get back your health because he's just so quick on the attack and has such a range on that thing. Alright, let's try it again. I think we're over an hour now, but I don't want to do it. I don't have a content for a whole nother episode unless I make up something new. And I kind of stretched a little to separate things like Sugar Daddy from the Gold Digger, to separate some of those things out, but you know, whatever. Let's woo. That is a hard one actually to dodge because he's pretty quick, and that attack sticks out quite a lot. So that guy's easier to dodge for some reason. I think it's the weapon choice. And of course, when running from enemies, don't ever let your stamina go all the way down, because it just takes so much longer to regain. There's that initial pause of no gain. And I think this is where it's better probably to parry. Oh, okay, I did it. All right, here we go. I just don't want to waste time fighting them over and over and over. Ideally... Oh, look at that. Hopefully this will be our last time running through this. I usually don't die to Gwyn too many times, maybe once or twice, and then I've got it after that. Usually. Woo! Glad he did that move. That was the best move he could have done. Okay, go, go, go. Sometimes they can hit you after you get through, I've noticed. I don't think you can bleed him, can you? Yeah, I don't think he bleeds. Excuse me. That is not much damage at all. Oh, shoot. That is not much. I should have switched these weapons. Ooh, I barely got that. My timing was pretty bad. Oh, shit. I'm messing this up now, trying to switch weapons. I should have just kept it going as is. Oh, man. I thought I had that. Ooh, lucky he got it. He was off a little there. Nah, forget it. I'm just gonna mess it up again. Let me see if I can get a Estus off. No. Oh. That went right over me. It didn't even hit me. I got lucky. Really should have. That really should have hit me. Golly, he did 2 of those in a row. What a punk. Oh, damn. That's not good. Oh, I forgot about this stalactite or stalagmite or whatever it is. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. I missed 3 parries in a row. Boy, is this going to be the longest episode ever. Woo. Okay, let's switch it up. I think I'm gonna do more damage with the Dark Silver Tracer. And then... Oh, but can I parry? Hang on. No. I'm not able to parry that way. But you know what? I can parry this way. Fuck it. I don't think it's cheating to go to bare hand. So we'll just do it that way. I think I'll do more critical damage with this, right? Critical's 160 versus 100. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. This will be much better. We'll do it this way. Give him a little jab, too, in between, just for the hell of it. How about that? All right. I wonder if I should forego the Dark Woodgrain ring and equip the flame stone plate, flame plate, stone flame plate ring, the anti-flame ring, the anti-fire ring rather. I wonder if that would make a significant difference in the amount of damage he does to me. To be worth equipping, that is. We'll try it. Okay, I did it without falling, without dying. Let me just make sure I did do it. Yeah, okay. Running like a sissy. So, long story short, pretty much all the predatory women, the basic advice is don't. And if you've already started with them, get out. That's pretty much it. The only real difference is the level to which you need to plan your escape, and that, of course, is based on the level of commitment you have. Not how much you like her, but how deeply involved with her you already are. Oh, shit. How did I not parry that? Damn. Oh, that move is nearly impossible to parry, so, oh well. I am shocked I'm having this much trouble. I've had fights with him where I parry every single attack, but then again, there is that one really quick move that doesn't work out so well. So here we go. We'll try it again. In the comment section below, guys, this is the last video, so if you have any questions you want to ask publicly, please do put it down there. I do see all the comments. I read them all. If you have one you want to ask me privately, a question you want to ask privately, send it to me in a DM on Twitter. You can follow me on social media. All the links are down below in the video description. Twitter is where I'm most active, so if you're going to follow me anywhere, do it there. If you don't have a Twitter account, please do get one. It is actually a good measure of kind of where the left is. So if you want to follow a lot of people on Twitter, see what the left's talking about and see how people are responding to it, it's a great tool. Of course, Twitter is like most of Silicon Valley. It's very left-wing, extreme radical left-wing. It's so normal to be left-wing that if someone's moderate, they think that that person is right-wing, because they're just so extreme to one side on the political spectrum. But there's lots of different people on Twitter, so I follow a lot of different people on Twitter. I would recommend you do as well. Twitter's where a lot of things start. Twitter's where a lot of things kind of come to get discussed, and you get to see kind of the reaction of one side of society, or several sides of society, I should say. In addition to that, you can like the video if you liked it or dislike it. You can also hit the subscribe button, and if you're not already subscribed, and I recommend you hit the notification bell icon and choose all videos. For some reason, YouTube thinks that if you subscribe to a channel, you want YouTube deciding whether or not you see their subscription or their videos in your feed. I don't know why they would assume that. That's just stupid. Woo. That was nothing I just picked up. You can hear the Black Knights. You can even see them right there. That's fascinating. That three-parter, I usually find it's best to dodge or avoid the first attack. Oh, shit. Okay. That's doing enough damage, I think, to be worth it. It's not producing much of a risk to me. And yeah, we're doing much more damage with this thing versus the gold silver tracer. And this is the way it's supposed to be anyway. Should I try for an Estus? I'm gonna do it. That's usually where things go wrong, though. I know. Oh, shit. Oh, we got it. We got it. Done. And I realized why it felt like I was doing so little damage. That's of course because this is New Game Plus. He's got more health. Alright guys, 140 million thousand bajillion souls. I'm just kidding. So, here we go. Let's get set up for it. We've already taken this well beyond the hour mark. Let's start out with the Black Knight sword. We're not going to use arrows, at least not for the most part. Let's do Havel's ring and see where we're at from there. Yep, medium roll. How do we look if we do the Ring of Favor and Protection? 45 out of 151. You ready? Damn. All right. You know what? We're going to leave those on, and we're just going to boost up endurance to see if maybe we can get to the point where we can fast roll, but I don't think that's very realistic. What if we just got rid of Havel's at this point? Yep, so until then, we could do any of these other rings. We're not going to be casting anything. We could boost Poise. We could, though I don't know all the thresholds for Poise. We could boost critical attack, so that's not as useful on this. Thrust weapons, although that's, again, that would be worthless. Let's see. Yeah, not a lot of terribly... I mean, I guess Ring of Steel Protection at that point, right? What else, you know? I mean, there's some situationally useful rings, but not ones you'd want to leave on permanently, such as the Cursebite ring or the Flame Stoneplate ring. So... not sure how much more Poise we'd really want at that point, but let's see where we're at with Poise. Poise, we have 50 to 90. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. The next playthrough is going to be a Black Knight playthrough of New Game Plus 2. I think it's called New Game Plus 2 at that point. And we will talk about the basics of the Red Pill. And the way I look at that is I look at the Red Pill as a whole kind of tool set for life. I also include in that improving yourself. So to give you a heads up on what most of what we're talking about is going to be, because I have a very firm outline here, we're going to start with frame. We've talked about it before, but we're going to get a little more concrete with that. We're going to move into fitness. I think that's very important. And linked to that, but in a separate episode, will be nutrition and food. That is very important as well. We'll move on to also finance, career, retirement funds, savings, that kind of stuff. Because you need to have some money, right? Then we'll go into fashion and grooming. Taking care of yourself and how you look and how you dress. We'll talk about home economics type issues. Yes, guys, you have to be able to cook, clean, do your own cleaning, do your own laundry, be able to decorate your own place. Don't be that loser guy where you bring the girl home and it just looks like shit. Yeah, if you're hot and alpha enough, you can make it work, but she's not going to see you as a long-term prospect if that's your eventual goal. You know, having a mattress on a cement floor in a basement, not going to do for long-term value. We're also going to talk about you having a sense of your own identity and personality, which may include having a kind of a car that fits you, not just having an A to B car, but a car that you know about, a car that when people look at you getting in that car, be like, yeah, I can see that. Maybe you want to do something more like accessorizing. Maybe you want to have a hat. Maybe you want to have certain custom chain or something with a picture of your daughter in it, or I don't know, whatever. Home decor, social media presence, and what you do on there. We'll also talk about having social connections, your social circles, which includes your family, your friendships, other women, coworkers, and all that jazz. Guys, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be super cool. I'm going to learn from it myself as I look up more stuff and talk about it more, and as we talk about how to really bring things together as men. And I would recommend that if you watch any of my playthroughs, that is going to be it. That's probably going to be like the biggest #1 playthrough I recommend moving forward in the future, maybe permanently for the rest of the time I have my channel. It's just going to be about getting your entire life together, everything, to be the best possible version of yourself, to be the best you can be, not a self-help, feel good, but an actually be good. Make an actual difference in your own life, and then by proxy in other people's lives. So, that's the next one. It's probably going to be called Red Pill Basics, and then I'll name each episode based on what we'll talk about. I look forward to seeing you guys there. I hope you look forward to it as well. Make sure to do all the stuff I talked about earlier with the liking it, subscribing, all that crap. And this has been another episode. Predatory women, don't fall for them. Don't be the prey. The better you set yourself up, the less likely it is that you'll fall for the predatory women. So, next playthrough will start very soon. And when it does, I'll post on social media, particularly on Twitter. I hope you guys share it with all your friends and family or whoever else needs to see it. Men, share it with men. Don't share it with women. Women don't need to see it. They'll get mad. But don't show it to your girlfriend. Don't show it to your mom or your sisters or your daughter. I'll see you guys next time, everybody. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. Later.